Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And today we are going to be ranking the champs from 2019. Now, for the past few weeks, I've been developing my ranking, kind of like what I did last year for the champs in 2019. Now, Silver Surfer was the wrench in my list, but he's finally available, although I don't have him yet. But I feel like there is enough information out there about him to place him in my rankings for 2019. Now, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently than I did last year, since last year I kind of started out in the month that the champion was released, so I worked my way down from January through December and just placed them in their appropriate rankings. Now, if you want to check out the video, or if you want to check out that video, excuse me, the link to it is right above my head, somewhere in this space. Now, this year, though, I'm going to start who I feel is at the bottom of the list and work my way to the top. Now, Kabam has released a ton of great champs with a lot of utility this year, so ranking was really not an easy feat. I know some of you may not agree with, the champs or where I have the champs ranked, and that's perfectly okay. We all have different opinions, and I'm down to hear what you guys think in the comments below. So let's get this ranking started. At number 25, we've got Ebony Ma because, well, we all know why. Kabam really missed the mark with this guy. We were thirsty for a Mystic, and Ma, he just didn't fill that void. Although he is a Corvus counter, he doesn't really do that well. Low utility, low damage, last on the list. So now we're moving on to number 24 with Diablo, because Kabam really had great opportunity with his persistent charges and they kind of fell short with him. I see kind of what they were trying to do, but the execution on it was just poor. I feel like maybe this was a Carnage situation where maybe he was too OP and they nerfed him before his release. At number 23 is the Silver Surfer, whose hype may have been greater than Doom's. This is a personal disappointment for me because he was one of my favorites in the comics and he just seems to fall short. Now, maybe I've missed something because he's so new and he could go up or he could go down, but for right now, he's sitting pretty at number 23. And at number 22, we've got Mr. Sinister, another Corvus counter who does it better than Ma, but if you have a heal blocker or a champ who doesn't crit, you'll just breeze right through him unless he's uber noted up, like in 6.2, but in all actuality, he's more annoying to fight than anything else. At number 21 is this goofy bug Annihilus. This guy is confusing as all hell. He's at the top of the bottom because, I mean, he's a pretty good defender, but he's just too damn confusing for me, and we're moving on. So we're moving on to Elsa Bloodstone at number 20. I think had she been released maybe last year, I think she would have been higher on the list because she is a Blade counter. But with Corvus and Ghost, Blade has kind of like fallen along the wayside, which lands her at number 20. So now I want to put in a disclaimer. Any champ above this, I feel could easily be taken to rank 5. This is how many good champs Kabam has put out this year. I think there is a good argument that any of these champs could be your favorite, even if they fall lower on my list. All right, so let's move on to number 19 with Man-Thing. Now, Man-Thing, he's kind of a newer champ. He's a good defender. He's got poison, he builds the Furies, he's good for that Acid Wash Mysterio in 6.3, as well as certain paths in map 7, which is why he falls in at number 19. Coming in at number 18 is the damage dealer Cull Obsidian. Oh, Cull, you've got some great damage and you take a while to ramp up, but once you get there, man, he just crushes it. But that's it. That's all Cull has is damage. His block proficiency sucks, he has no immunities, and that's what makes him fall in at number 18. Oh, and plus, Kabam was gonna fix him. Yeah. And coming in at number 17 is Ronan. No, not Ronan. Ronan. Hawkeye Ronan. If you can figure out how to play Ronan and switch him into the proper stance, his bleeds are absolutely insane. If you like playing one of those alternative style champs, this guy could definitely be ranked up, and I could see why you would rank him in, or rank 5 him. So moving on, we've got Arcus, Vision Arcus, falling in at number 16. He's got Cold Snap, Armor Break, Armor Shatter, Power Gain, all good abilities, but he's not the best at any one of them. You know, now at the time of this video, I should mention he is bugged. His damage, you know, it normally isn't the best, but he is great for those pesky evaders. Now, he doesn't have any immunities and he really doesn't have any power control, and because of that, he falls in at number 16. So moving on to Stealth Suit Spider-Man. Now, Stealthy, this one was tough. I have to admit that. He has some great utility with his pre-fight abilities. He's fun to play. He's a decent defender, but he's super squishy, and I'm really not a fan of that. But if he's your fave champ, I can't knock you for it. He's pretty cool, and his animations are awesome. So falling in at number 14 is Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, with her invisibility and her force field that gives her some really good utility, and she has great synergies with the rest of the Fantastic Four, which elevates her even higher on the list. Now, I can easily see why anyone would bring her to rank 5, plus she's super fun to play, even if her specials make me giggle. And moving on to the other member of the Storm family, Human Torch, I would definitely say the better of the Storm siblings. This guy is the Mystic Murderer. He's got great animations, fun specials, good damage. I mean, he even paved the way for the pre-fight abilities, but the reason I have placed him at number 13 is he's not great for all situations. While his incinerate damage is good, it's not as great as other champions on this list. And keeping it with the Fantastic Four, coming in at number 12 is Mr. Fantastic, the stretchy man himself. Now, having another champ that can place a petrified debuff is always good. I love that. The careful steady debuff is really cool, and he has one of the best sets of pre-fight abilities. He's got great synergies overall, especially with the Fantastic Four, and also having the leadership abilities like Cap Infinity War is great. Kabam, I would love to see more champs that have this. So coming in at number 11 is the fishbowl himself, Mysterio. He's a really fun champ to play. His animations are awesome. His passive heal block that he has is always great. It's an awesome feature. He's got decent damage, and he has some pretty interesting utility. Okay, now the top 10, this is where things really start to get hard and where my rankings may differ more than yours. But like I said, that's perfectly okay. I am down for it. So moving in at number 10 is Clairvoyant, the answer to our 5-star Scarlet Witch. Yes, this is our 5-star Scarlet Witch. Now, she has great regen. She is a suicide goddess. She's got great damage, and I think this was our first good mystic since Sim Supreme last year, and some would even argue the best mystic released this year. Moving in at number 9 is Sunspot, the hot boy. His power gain, incinerates, animations, and alternative playstyle make him an awesome damage dealer, and I even considered taking him to rank 2. Now, I always have a special place in my heart for a champ that has more of an attack than just a, the standard medium, light, medium. He would be higher, but he falls flat against stun immune, and he's not very suicide friendly. Keeping it in with the Mystics, moving on to number 8 is Namor, Mr. Damage himself. This guy is just a blast to play. Getting him into Imperious Rex and that alternative playstyle just make this guy a beast. The fact, though, that he needs the dupe and a high sig places him at number 8 on the list, although you may have him ranked even higher. Now, this is the guy we have been waiting for, Dr. Doom. Other than Surfer, Kabam has done amazing with the Fantastic Four characters who we have been waiting for years. His built-in resistor, his shock immunity, his unique playstyle, power gain, and that wicked special 3 just seals the deal on him, brings him in at number 7, and who honestly I think is the best Mystic of 2019. So coming in at number 6 is Havoc, Mr. Nasty Specials and Plasma Detonate. Now, he's still a decent defender, although many have figured out, how to counter him, and Kabam has even released more champs who can counter him, but he still does decent raw damage. He's, one of the best energy-based champs in the game, and remember guys, don't sleep on that feedback. Okay, coming in at number 5, and these next ones are pretty tough decisions, is Captain Sparkles, my backup boo. That binary ignition utility, her indestructible when she's awakened, but not necessary. The ability to just carry damage from fight to fight, her immunities, she's just the icing on the cake, and she comes in at number 5. Okay, getting tougher now, getting tougher. Coming in at number 4 is the nasty robot herself, Guillotine 2099. I've had so much fun playing this chick. Her pre-fight abilities are awesome, albeit maybe even the best in the game. She's great for long fights. She's got a ton of utility, great immunities. This chick, she could almost be the total package, but not quite. All right, coming in at number 3, the rock hard Thing himself, the remaining Fantastic Four member. Thing is just a tank. He builds Furies like a madman. He has so many ways to mitigate damage. He's not just a defensive champ, he's an awesome attacker. He can take a hit and just keep on going. Plus, when he's synergized with the rest of the Fantastic Four, this dude is just beyond God tier. Okay, so now we are down to the final 2. So I'm sure you guys probably know who they are. You've got the goofy alien robot and the Master of Bleeds. So you've got Warlock and Nick Fury. Now, this was a very hard one to decide. I pretty much had to get very nitpicky on this. Nick has the better damage for sure, but Warlock has the better utility, and Nick isn't suicide friendly, but Warlock is, and Nick does better damage over time where, Warlock kind of lags there, but Warlock doesn't need the dupe and Nick must have the dupe, otherwise he's way down on the bottom of the list. Now, both champs have great synergies, but Nick probably edges Warlock out by just a hair on that. Both have good prestige. Both are great for all aspects of the game, but no other champ can do what Nick can do while he's quote-unquote dead, and Warlock probably has the absolute best heal block in the game. So, with that being said, who comes out on top? Well, by just the thickness of a technovirus, the goofy alien robot Warlock landed number 1 on my list, edging Nick Fury out to number 2. This was one of the hardest lists that I've honestly had to make because there were so many good champs released this year with so much utility. There were a few duds, but really, with me, it just boiled down to who I preferred, who has the better utility, that sort of thing. But let me know in the comments below, do you agree with my list? I'm sure most of you won't. How would you rank the 2019 champs? Who are your top 3 of 2019? Do you think the champs for 2020 will be better as good or will they be worse? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.